Hi everybody, welcome back to episode 19 of my Draconian Necromancer series, where it's me versus 5 allied Emperor level AI opponents, and I give them a 20-turn head start by doing nothing for the first 20 turns. I had some interesting stuff to show you in terms of battles, including some real sloppy stuff where I was not on my game, but it worked out well enough. So the first and most important thing is that I went in and took out their city. And so let's watch that battle. It was the first one and then a cleanup battle. So this is the interesting one to watch. So many machine units, really, really painful when they're behind a wall and just such a concentration of firepower. So let's see how I handled it. And I did, unfortunately, lose a low experience glutton. So annoying. So the projectile reflections is a nice little bonus. So I'm sending some guys north. Getting that going, which is really nice for facing machines because it does offer some fire protection, which is important. Wanting to split them a little bit, keep some of their units down. Critical failure was so convenient. It would have been so much harder had they not lost all their casting points. So, I mean, keeping the thunderstorm up is nice, but what's even more important is that anything I cast after this potentially, though, I'm pretty low on casting points, and my leader... One of my leaders, is my leader present in this battle? I think he is, but yeah, I had limited options. Oof, so much fire damage. So painful. But see, he's taking a lot of hits, keeping a lot of their attention down here, while I sneak the real force in here. This Node Serpent is going to be super essential because he's one of the few things that can do shock damage, which is super effective, and stun, giving me reprieve from damage for a time. I also want to get those shock serpents in, but unfortunately they've got to pass through an open door or an open wall that somebody else creates. Lots of reloading. Glutton continues to take damage. High hit points, but low defense. A few haywires, super important for the possibility of them getting stunned out. And I do have force field on here for the fire protection, primarily. Go. I think he has 60%, right? Yeah, 60% physical protection and 100% fire protection with this lineup. So that helps. The fire and physical protection really helps with dealing with things. But he has no undying because that's not the type of class he is. So you still got to be careful. Try to move him back. Cadavers, no problem. So see, we've got some stun, some stun, some stun. Really important part of the strategy. Finally get these guys into the mix. They're not quite in range, unfortunately. A little bit of frost damage. Try to keep this Manicore Rider alive. Why is it so low? Skin of oil. Yeah, that would be why. So low. Frost breath hitting a lot of my own guys, but Also hitting some of the important guys. I think I raise dead. Pursuing. Yeah. One of the things I'm going to start doing is when I forge my lifesteal weapons that I put on my heroes, especially my Necromancer, instead of Overwhelm, I'm going to pair it with Demolisher. That only costs 1 point, whereas the lifesteal costs 4 points in the forge. Oh, that's a weird stutter step. Because Demolisher would help them deal with machines at least. Yep, so it went from really hairy at the beginning to pretty manageable, in part because of all the stuns that I was getting, but a lot of it due to the Node Serpent, a lot of it due to the Haywire. Yeah, so it was a nail biter, but I'm glad it worked out pretty well. What else do I want to show you? Oh yeah, this was kind of interesting. So it's with the troop composition, kind of some throwaway units, some units I like. I would have preferred to keep the Eagle Rider and the Blight Doctor, but it was kind of interesting going up against this squad. So, because I was trying to think, would I have the advantage if they came out of the castle? Can I kill off their ranged units and be able to control the flow of melee units? Because you can't scale down walls, I don't think. You can only go through the front gate. So I was hoping to kill off their ranged units like you see me doing there. That was a little sloppy. Shield doesn't help. It's getting frozen a lot with key units. Now they do decide to come out. And they do hit like a brick. The Daver's doing work. Gotta kill them because of that. Wow. Yeah, I think did I use a Disintegrate on that character? I think I did that to maybe save the Lord of the Deep. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I used Disintegrate to cause that death. There we go. So, I was actually feeling a little underwhelmed with the damage dealt by these, but it's probably because that I had high damage. But so that was that followed by a little bit more cleanup. Is there anything else of note? Yeah, this was a bit tricky. So I lost this Champion 4 Banshee, which made me really sad. Hold on, the Champion 2, lost this throwaway unit, but I got to have my level 9 Warlord in action, and this guy, and let's see what we got. So Blight Frost, 100% fire, some spirit, some shock, no physical, but does have some greater lifesteal. So let's check this out. This was a sloppy battle. Lost him right off the bat. The stun capability of their ranged units, super annoying to deal with. I have plenty of casting points. So I first pop out the Undying. So at least this guy will pop back. And the Trebuchet is annoying to deal with. It's really chaotic battle, and I wasn't doing a lot of damage at some point. So these guys go down thanks to lifesteal. Yikes. So despite the high defense, getting flanked is not very good. See, they like to stand on it so the guy can't be resuscitated during battle. So I'm a little bit hesitant of the low health I'm at, and I really don't like the stunning that these guys do, so I really want to get my incorporeal units in those ranged units' faces. Greater lifesteal doing pretty good work there. Trying to get haywire, they both go haywire. I don't know if I got stuns though. Yikes, really worried about that. So I'd like to get him up in their faces because he's immune to the stun from those ranged, but the damage they deal is pretty nasty. So I'm trying to keep both of my heroes alive. Greater lifesteal, really important there. So again, just trying to keep them on defense, trying to make sure that they will lifesteal from guys who try and break away from melee. So they go down a second and final time, so they will not be brought back with Undying. I thought about casting more spells, but I didn't, for whatever reason. So I'm slowly whittling down, unfortunate stun there, but I'm slowly whittling down their ranged units. Which is important because the stun I do is annoying. Really antsy about that. I don't know why they didn't target him. Super low. Lifesteal bringing me back in the game though. Just super essential. Stunned, unfortunately. Woof. Yeah, they weren't. The stun wasn't proccing too much, so unfortunately he went down. But with Undying Army, he will be coming back. So that ended up being pretty essential. Lifesteal doing good work, keeping him out of the way, because they will not do Undying, because incorporeal, these guys vanish. There's no corpse to be. Well, they just because they explode and do damage upon death. They can't be undyinged. At least I don't think. Little life drain. he goes down now. It's pretty crazy, but he will be back with his native Undying. In fact, devour a corpse, the other way to get health, and that's it. So again, super sloppy, weird battle. It worked out. So yeah, this has been episode 19. See you for episode 20.